Okay, guys. Now, never mind. I noticed my memory in the phone has still have like another 20 minutes for me to record and go over with you guys about how to restore vehicle headlights here. So basically, what I have here, what you really important, what you want to have is first of all, which way am I going to do first? Okay, there's two or three different ways that I have all my equipments here to show you guys. Okay, the cheapest, fastest way, if you do not have any kits, like I have a kits there right there, and if you do not have any cream, like you're supposed to have cream for the headlights to clean the headlights. Period, like rubbing compound. But if you don't have any of those, you gotta at least have something, okay? Those things are pretty much a little bit expensive, but if you do not have the kits and all the the alcohol and the wax and dry and the rubbing compound and the all the glass cleaner right there, I mean, or any gun tools, like you see me with the gun tools and all that, yes, then you gotta at least have this, okay? You gotta have this is one easy cheap way you can restore and clean your headlights to make it shinier and looks just like you're doing a full restore your headlights with the kits and all that. This way you don't need a kit, but you clean out and make the headlights shinier too. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys two or three different ways, okay, within this videos, and it might be a few parts, okay, but just bear with me here. I want to make a videos on all of it, okay. I really don't really want to make like separate videos for separate things, because this one subject is just about restoring, cleaning, shining and buffing the headlights anyway. So I'm not gonna waste my time making several different videos for several techniques how to restore the headlights, okay. So the cheapest way you can, okay, let's get into it. The cheapest way you can do to restore the headlight is you gotta have these things. First off, of course, you know that you have to, you gotta park your car in the shade, because when you restore your headlight, you cannot park in the sun. The sun will damage the headlights if you're gonna restore it. So you're gonna have a bucket of water. Gotta have a bucket of water. Then you need to have olive oil. There you go. That's the secret right there. That's the secret. You gotta have you gotta have olive oil. Okay. The next thing you will want to have is uh, toothpaste cream. Okay. Oh yeah, another thing I should grab out is I forgot, and it's in my Canopy Tank garage here. I believe it's in here. Yes, this is what you should have. Okay, baking soda, pure baking soda, cleaning baking soda. Okay, I'm gonna take it out here. I'm gonna put it right here. So that's what I'm missing. Okay, pure baking soda, clean baking soda. Okay, for cleaning purpose only. Okay, then you're gonna want to have to need the toothbrush, a clean toothbrush. Okay, the better, the clean the better, and a little bowl here where you can do your mixture. Okay, and of course you gotta have this. It's not a wax, but it's a sponge. Okay, it's a soft sponge where you can wax and clean the headlights and cream it and clean it afterward. But anyway, that's what you need, and of course you're gonna need these right here too. Gonna need paint tape and newspaper, like some newspaper, so where you can uh, tape the headlights with the newspaper, so your cream and all the dust when you rub the headlights, it won't get into um, the car's body paints and all that. Okay, so that's one cheapest way you can do. And of course your water hose right there too. Just getting ready if you do need to do some water hose, but I wouldn't use the water hose because it'll wet the whole car. I will use a sponge with that or with a rag. Okay, oh yeah, you're gonna have to have this too, microfiber cleaning towels. That's a must. Okay, I got a bunch of that right there. And another important thing you need to have is sandpaper. Okay, now I go by my I go by my kits, where it says that the kits include the P500, the P500 grit sand disc, and the 8 and the P. Okay, let me view this in. Okay, I'll go by this, how I'm gonna use my sandpaper to sand which sandpaper grits I'm going to use to sand the headlights. Okay, so I'll go by the kits. I'm trying to find as much as P500 grits sand this as much as possible, and a P800 and a P3000 grit sandpaper as much as possible. I'm not worried about anything else but those things. Okay, so if you don't have 500, 800, or 3000, at least you're gonna have something close, uh, sandpaper that close to it. So here's what I come up with a conclusion about sandpaper, what I have and what I'm gonna use. I just bought this 1200 grit sandpaper, wet and dry sandpaper at Harbor Freight 2. You can get most of this at Harbor Freight 2 for really cheap. You can get it at AutoZone or Walmart. You feel like but you know, buy your things somewhere that you used to buy. Okay, and it's pretty cheap too. So I don't have 500, then I'll use 600. That's okay. But before you sand, you're gonna want to look at um, the vehicle headlights to see how blurry it is. See how foggy it is. If it's a lot of foggy and a lot of dots, you might want to use P500 or anything like below that. Just to give it coarse and rough, rough edge where you can sand rough spots, because the lower the number, the rough the sandpaper, like the 400, that's going to be a little bit rough. Okay, that's going to be a little bit coarse. Okay, you don't want to go anything below 500 or 400, because that's going to get so rough, coarse, it might scratch your whole entire headlights. That way it's going to be harder for you to sand it, get it back to shiny and smooth again. Okay, because you want to smooth, you want to sand, you want to use the sandpaper where you can smooth the headlights to the point where it reaches 3000 grits. Okay, 3000 grits, that's the last thing you should do. That's the last type of sandpaper that you should wet sand and make it smooth again before you spray paint with UV coat, if you do it, if you restore your lights headlights that way. Or 3000, I mean 3000 grits. Okay, use 3000 grits for the last at least 2000. Okay, if you don't have 3000, use 2000 or 2500, whatever. If you use 2000 grits, you can basically wet sand it, smooth down, so it'll become 3000. But anyway, you want your result to be sanded down, to smooth down your headlights to about 3000, 2000, 3000 grits. Okay, now now that's the finished product right there. Around 2 or 3,000 grits. After you sand that down, it should be smooth. You should be able to like wax it after that, or UV spray paint it, or put oil or whatever just to make it shiny. That's going to be a shining stage right there. Okay. So anyway, so I would start with looking at like my mom's headlight here. I mean, I should start this with like 800, and with my 98 Eclipse, it has some dirt on it and it's just rough. I might have to use 500 or 400 on that, or 600. I mean, I could use 600 for my mom to start out. My headlights here, 600 or 800, but I do not have 800, so I'm gonna have to either use 600, okay, for my mom's headlights, or just go straight into a 800 or 1000. If I do have 800, well, I don't have 800, so just go straight to 1000. So you see here, I got this sandpaper ready. I got a bunch of 1000 grits. I got like a whole pack of 1000 and a whole brand new pack of 1200. I might have to start out with 1200, and I got this whole pack of 10. Includes a couple of 220, a couple of 500. See, I got 500 right here, a couple of 1000, and a couple of 1200. So basically, I have 600, 400, 500, 1000, and a lot of 1200 right there. So and of course a lot of 1000. This is 1000, a couple of 1000 on this pack, and a whole pack of 1000 right here. So I'm gonna probably use a lot of 1000 and 1200. Okay, if it's too blurry, or too foggy like my car over there, I'm gonna probably use a bunch of 500 because I got a lot of 500 and 600. You see that? And I probably not gonna use 400. If well, I might use 400, but you know the kit don't recommend you to use 400. They recommend you to use starting 500. And believe me or not, some people they use everything. Like they use whatever they got. They use 400 if they have to, but I wouldn't recommend you to use 400 grits to start with. Okay, use 600 or 800 at the most. And of course, if it's a newer car, it won't be so dirty and foggy. So you can just go ahead and start with 1,000, like or 1,200. That's fine. It's gonna be a little rough too, but at 1,000 stage grits, it's gonna be pretty much smooth already. It's almost smooth already. So here I have the kit, and I'll tell you what else I have after this. Okay, so I'm gonna let me put this up again. So you, as far as the grits, you guys already know how to use it. Okay, now this is just for the cheap part, okay? You can use this technique in this way to restore your headlights. I'm not gonna go into the drilling, the gun and all that. That's gonna be another way too, okay? And of course the headlight restore kit too, that's another way. But this is the first cheap way. I'm gonna tell you guys, show you guys how to do it. It's already show you. This is a cheap way right there. And this right here, the polishing compound, this is the same thing like over here, like one of the cream. Those are a little bit like these only $3-4. I think everyone can afford it. But you can use this polishing compound. That's what you use to clean your headlights, okay? To rub and clean out your headlight after you sand it out and all that. While you sanding, you use that compound to sand it, okay? Now, everyone can afford this. This is only a couple of bucks, $3, $4 for that pack right there, for the whole tube right there, and everyone can afford it. You know, if you can't afford that, then you can use baking soda and toothpaste, cream, mix it up, and it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing, but it's not as strong as the polishing compound, like the polishing compound that I'm gonna use to clean most of my headlights here. But remember, guys, when you choose to buy polishing compound, make sure it can clean plastic. Okay, make sure it will clean plastic. But if it's not, if it's cleaning metal, that's not the right polishing compound kinds. Okay, make sure is the polishing compound that will clean plastic, because headlights these days are plastic. Okay, unless you have glass headlights, then that will be a different technique. That'll be a different way, which I can show you guys too. It's just you can still use rubbing compound. If you or you still can use polishing compound or rubbing compound if you know if you clean glass headlights. I'm pretty sure there's another way. I forgot. There's another right way to use to clean and rub out the glass headlight if the glass headlights are dirty. Okay. So another thing, you already know this is a cheap way, but you gotta have sandpaper. Just start with 800 and go up to 1,000, then 2,000, then 3,000 to smooth out. And after that, right after that, well, of course, I forgot to tell you, you gotta tape your headlights while you do that thing, while you're cleaning it. Um, but if you don't have any gun like this, use your hand to sand. Use the sandpaper, but use your hand to sand it, wet sand it, whatever. You just got to do it like that. It might take a little bit longer, but using your hand will be precise, okay? Persistent. Like it'll be really, really clean and neat if you use your hand instead of the gun here, okay? So that's a cheap way. Remember, I forgot to tell you guys before you do any sanding, you want to go ahead and clean. This is auto glass cleaner. This is to clean your headlights before you do anything. That's to clean your plastic headlights. Um, Make sure it's ammonia free if you have plastic headlights. Okay, if you have plastic headlights, anything to do with plastic, try to make sure your glass cleaner is ammonia free. That way the ammonia, if it doesn't have ammonia, then it will not eat through your plastic headlights. If your glass cleaner has ammonia, it will eat through your plastic headlights. Okay, so just remember that. So with ammonia free, well, you can have ammonia glass cleaner if your headlights is made out of glass, then it's okay. But if your headlights is plastic, make sure it's ammonia free, okay? Because that will eat um, the plastic off your headlights. That's why this thing is ammonia free that I'm using, and it's safe on tint too, because ammonia will eat your tint. But if it's ammonia free, it won't eat out your tint, okay? The tint window that you had, okay? So this glass, grateful glass, mirror, and chrome, okay? So you need to wipe, clean the glass first, the headlight first with this auto glass cleaner, and then for the alcohol too, you will need to have alcohol, um, like rubbing alcohol. I don't know about this kind of alcohol, but I use this kind of alcohol to clean because it's a cleaner alcohol. You probably can use this too. The alcohol is for after you do all the paste and the rubbing and the sanding and all that. Okay, you want to do that after. Okay, you can do it before too. You can use alcohol before just to clean your headlights, but it meant to use for after because it'll clean out all of the baking soda. If you use baking soda, it'll clean out all the polishing compound. If you use it, it'll clean out, and then waxing is gonna be last. You want to do the waxing and dry it. That's that's gonna be last. Your very last thing. You're gonna put wax on after you clean the headlights, and when you put wax on, it will just be shining. You don't have to do anything that after that. After you wax. You know, try to stay away from water after wax, okay? Because waxing is the very last thing where it will shine the whole headlights, okay? You got it? All right, guys. So, and that's just simple as that, okay? Um, I know my video is kind of like unorganized how I explain it from step to step, but basically it's very simple, okay? It's basically if you're doing the cheap way, like I just explained to you, and I will explain to you the headlight kits way, okay? This is another deluxe. I have a deluxe kit lens renewal system, so that technique way is everyone using it now these days, okay? But I will show you guys that way after this video, okay? So just making sure before I stop the video and letting you go about this type of technique ways is that first of all, step by step is if you don't have money to buy or cannot find any polishing compound to clean the headlights or whatever headlights you have, then go ahead and mix baking soda with toothpaste cream. You can use either both. Mix it up with water, make it a mixture, right? And then mix it up real good. And then of course you want to tape your headlights up, okay? And have some water and fiber cleaning cloth ready too, and of course sandpaper. And just go ahead and use sandpaper first, like a 800 or 1,000. Just sand it first and see how it is. See it gets all the dirt off first, and then just use some of the paste that you made and just rub on it, and then rub on it all around it and see how it is, and just go sand it, and then wet sand it. Just simple as that. Just go step by step like that, and check out the headlight. It should be clean after that. After all the rubbing and the sanding and all that, then it's gonna be cleaning time. It's very simple, guys. It only take like 10 minutes at the most. Cleaning the cream and all that. After that is getting the cleaning cloth right there. Okay, clean it up good. Put water if you have to, just to clean up. By then the headlight should be shining. And then if you want to keep it shining good, I would recommend you go ahead and buff it with oil. Okay, rub it with olive oil. Okay, that's what it takes, because olive oil is different than other oil. Olive oil is the pure oil, will make anything shine. Okay, shine again. So just leave. Olive oil is the best natural shining things that you can use for material. Okay, it'll shine out whatever, like gold or your jewelry or whatever. Olive oil, even you can use to eat and use it in your skin and body. Olive oil is the best natural thing that can make your body shine or whatever shine in your parts or whatever shine. Okay, so use olive oil and buff if you have to. I would buff a little bit with olive oil to make it shine, and then I wouldn't even need to use wax because this is a cheap, simple way. You don't use wax until you do the different way, like with the driller gun and the whole kits here, which I'm gonna make a video about that after this video. Okay, so guys, that's a cheap, simple way right there, and I will see you on the next videos to show you how to restore and the headlights with the different ways. Okay, this way will be a little bit expensive. Okay, and I will show you, go into detail and show you all that. All right, guys, see you.